So, honestly, you guys could reposition things how you would. This would probably be in the gunner area. I'll have this guy be like here. Um, E is the hangar bay, where I have learned is where the vessels are kept, and other stuff. But I assume I would have to catch everybody up, and here's how it goes. After leaving the underworld, well, preparing to leave the underworld in the vessel called the Savior. I probably called it something else in the message that I wrote, regardless. As the people that have been deemed the captain of the ship, the several of them that have keys and access to all up and around it, they have chosen to escape the underworld after receiving a plethora of individuals, several hundred, if I'm not mistaken. I believe I have a count of it, but overall, it nets you a pretty penny to travel them over to the overworld. Entities that wish to no longer live within the confines of the perennial stratum, whether they are tired of its ruling system or just in generally are aware of their lack of growing resources. A lot of it has been dwindled, and if it wasn't ironically for the great, what would I say, many people call it the electronic war, many people call it the construct war, the droid war, the metal man war, much terminology for it. And again, there's this sort of ambiguity whether it even occurred. Some do bear the scars, yet many seem to keep quiet about it. Regardless, as times are filled with strife, definitely resources are a thing. Running low on food is has been a happenstance in the underworld. Magical creations to placate to the masses have been the subject of much debate and an occurrence that always lingered ever since the Battle of Betwixt. But here we are, above the waters, having breached past the turbulent, yep, that word, that very rough waters, yeah, very rough waters that are considered the actual entity Fiero, a god of some sort, a fey being that has power over nature. And here we are, we find ourselves having traveled, possibly swimming past a gigantic gelatinous monster, using its own gravity well to shoot yourselves out towards the actual to the beach of Imali specifically, I guess. Let's look at things that we could concept. Right. You guys are this little guy. I believe you landed, based off what I said, you guys landed around here. And when you located that gelatinous monstrosity that was really just like an ice cube in the water, massive, and all was around that red spot that you could barely see now because it's red on purple. And then you guys were flung over to the west, which was just enough to get you to Militino, the continent, and music is playing now. And that fucks up my recording. Excellent. I don't know if you guys want the music. I'll keep it, but it's really up to y'all. Either way, we'll take it back to where we are now. As you arrived, a dragon coming towards to meet you as you enter the airspace of, you can only assume, some sort of border. And upon that,
Did you happen to say dragon?
I'm sorry.
You said a dragon.
Yes, I said a dragon. It was a black dragon, and upon it was an entity, a lizard folk that had spoken to Arthur, and they were both invited in. The dragon turning into a smaller individual, dark skin, dark hair, very nice nails, sort of hazel eyes.
So no slashy smashy the dragon.
You have
Got
all
it.
the agency in the world. Once you leave the helm, which I assume you are in with Bjorn, with Ronny, you should be able to attack and slay whatever. But at this moment, you only know that a dragon showed up to it, but you will not be seeing a dragon in a moment.
Arthur's gonna send one of those teleporting letters to tell Ronny or Ange. Actually, he's gotta tell Ange.
Well, yeah,
And
you don't really need to do that because there's, I don't think time is of the essence at the moment. You are walking Lita Urdum and Siri down to towards I'm assuming a place for everyone to congregate in.
he was planning to do it in the captain's quarters.
Captain's
Privacy
quarters
and all that.
works. He is looking for the captain. And then I believe you guys told him, yes, there are more than one. And he's like, oh, okay, let's go see them.
Okay. Arthur's then gonna write in one of his scrolls to send to Maine to Ange and tell her okay, I completely forgot what the profession was.
The warden.
The guards, the warden has asked for the captains. That includes you, Lunara, Ronny, Bjorn. Please pass on message.
Yeah,
and then he sends it.
That's what I'm getting at, Arthur. You don't have to send a message. You have enough employees for you to do that without having to kill a spell scroll. This is the picture of Adasor. This is not Adasor. This is just a placeholder for Lita Urdum, the warden. Do not be alarmed. I could put the original one if you guys want, or feel more comfortable with that.
I still see a map, so I have no idea what we're looking at.
Oh, yeah. My bad. Thank you. Nah, let's go back here. That guy is Adasor. But that isn't Adasor. That's just the picture of Adasor. So again, yeah, if you guys want me to switch that up, I will.
Don't worry, we can imagine stuff.
Okay, imagine. Yes, he has no horns. He has no spikes. No nothing. He does look like Adasor. He's just like naked lizard Adasor.
He looks bald.
Now, this isn't the black dragon, though, right? This is
this
person
is a lizard
that
folk.
that was riding them, right?
Mm-hmm. This is the Warden of Port. Everyone who does not live in the underworld recognizes this guy, knows this guy, basically understands this person to be like, what would I say?
Head manager.
Yeah, no, they'd be the president of the 300 planets that are part of the society that everyone lives in. Effectively.
Now, would they be considered somebody who's like a noble or somebody who's more of a political figurehead?
He makes final decision on all aspects and can veto any other in that regard. They do not do that though, because that is a very huge power move. And thus they hang around here and wait for questions to be answered. If anyone ever has a dispute, they essentially go to here. This guy breaks the tie, effectively.
Does he? Well, I guess what I'm asking is, does he answer to like a ruler, or does he answer to like a higher form of government? Like, is this person like on the level of like a senator, or are they like commander in chief of this world?
So the tenuous relationship between creatures deems it that a couple rules exist. One, the strongest will win. You can't put someone weak in that position because assassination attempts are varied. Thus, they are not in that regard only politically empowered. They are also skilled in whatever trade that they chose. You're not sure exactly with this individual. They look like a monk.
Okay.
But they have enough political power to basically outright go to any other planet and say, hey, I need this to run this way, and you have no choice. And if they want to hang around and be associated with the Alliance, they can't say no.
Gotcha. So he's part of the alliance then.
He is the head of the Alliance, second only to Azayela, who effectively is the only other veto power. And she's not around. She's never around. Not
Okay.
sensible.
So this guy is basically the head honcho then.
Yeah, he's the president of the universe? Question mark? Sure. He took over Madasor's official title, but instead of like being warlord status, it's voted in. Like every planet had a vote to a degree. There are some planets that were too early stage in joining the alliance. A and Inspiral specifically couldn't vote.
Okay. Before Ronnie comes before this dude, I think he's going to take off his jacket with the pirate insignia emblazoned on the front of it and hang it up on like the helm chair that he would normally sit.
Oh, here's the thing. This guy is friendly to pirates. Like, this guy was the head of the rebellion against Adasor, effectively with Azayela. And thus he banded together with the Pirate King Odilieri. And in fact, they became such good friends, or good enough, that he offered him the position of the other side of being warden. He's the warden of the south. Odilieri.
Gotcha. So Ronnie's probably heard of this dude before then.
Yeah.
In that case, yeah, never mind. Scratch that. Ronnie's still rocking it.
Yes. Excellent. So yeah, I'm assuming that Arthur eventually walks them all the way to the captain's quarters.
Yep,
which is
he
not
does.
really here. You guys have a better place because like there's the crew quarters next to the helm because they don't really expect the captain to be flying the ship, you know. But there's a much nicer place for the captains, and it's basically like a suite. There are enough rooms for maybe a pair of you to just end up sharing if someone didn't want to be in like the massive living room area. That is. So it's up to you guys to figure it out.
Should we put on a vote? Captain's quarters or crew quarters?
Well, it doesn't matter where. It's just what how you deal with it, really. How you
I think
sleep.
that Ronnie would probably generally sleep with the crew. I don't think he would really care.
There is no crew. You basically have that part to yourself then. You are the crew. You haven't set up a flight crew yet.
We have our security guys and we got our engineers and our gunner crew.
Oh, okay. They come around here?
I'm not sure if they would other than to report stuff. But I don't know. I assumed that they would probably just sleep in like the crew's quarters.
Yeah, that one's like a better version of just a regular crew's quarters. Is the one connected to the helm. That's the one. There's way more places for other people to camp out. Don't worry about that, guys. Either way, do you guys?
Yeah, we'll go down to the meet this dude.
Yeah.
So is Bjorn up at the helm then?
You'd be at the helm.
Mhm.
Everybody would be sort of getting together at the moment. I guess I have to grab
Bjorn's
the dragon.
been co-piloting.
Bjorn has been busy co-piloting, getting his XP as well. Everyone gets the same XP. This is not a dragon. Bjorn does not see a dragon. I don't like it.
Bjorn wants to kill a dragon.
Okay. All right. I don't have anything for her, so I'm gonna find something later. This guy walks up to you. Is Ange joining?
Yeah, Angie is joining. It's just I wrote it in the message of my issue. Did you move my token for me?
Yeah. Lunara, I'm gonna spring this on you. But as everyone's gathering, all these individuals getting together, and in walk, effectively, an individual who you believe to be your uncle, in the regard that they aren't related, but have lived in your life long enough that you could consider them that. This individual looks at you and doesn't bat an eye, almost as if he doesn't recognize you, but it makes sense because you were much younger at that point. You were definitely maybe a couple feet shorter. And as he walks in, he sort of gauges the situation. He looks at the armor that Ange wears and twitches a bit, then stares at Ange and looks around and says, "Are we in welcome company?" He asks, as I'm assuming the door closes and there are no others other than Siri, the two of them, and yourselves.
Who's he saying to? Sorry, I had to get something for sibling.
He's speaking to the crowd.
Ronny will just kind of speak up. Well, you've asked for all the captains to be brought forward. Yeah, we're all good company. Nobody here with hidden agendas that I can account for.
He smiles as you're lying about that last bit. And he says, "There's no reason to be coy unless we are not within good company." And then he sort of pulls at his collar a bit, and he has this choker on him, maybe like an undershirt or a choker. It's hard to tell exactly because you can't see all of it. But inscribed on the rim of it, you see just symbols and markings that would implicate him in the Court of Horns, effectively.
Ronny will kind of smile back. Again, sir, you stand before the captains of the Savior. No finer company.
And what of this one here? He asks as he sort of looks towards Ange. Where are you from?
Whom are you asking this question to?
I'm sorry, repeat that.
Whom are you asking that? Angel replies.
Who's asking that? He says,
Whom are you asking that?
"Who? Oh, he's asking you." He says, he will say, "I asked the one who wears the armor of the old conscript, so to say."
And she kind of smiles and is like, I'm from Ayala.
Do you follow the old gods or any new ones?
Angel lets out a large chuckle. I follow no god anymore. Not anymore.
He does an insight check on you. It's clear as day. He has no remorse or concern if he's obvious about it. And everyone can sort of tell that he's concerned. He's just concerned of the situation, but doesn't know where to place Ange, really. Either way.
Arthur like bumps into though. He's like, Ange over there is quite noble, honorable, honor to the heart.
H kind of gets closer to Arthur and kind of pinch him on his elbow and kind of whispers to him, "Who are they? Are they trustworthy? You know?"
Yes, they are. They're
and
the leader.
And like,
I
and
shall
then
say,
looks at Arthur. Trustworthy on my level, or trustworthy in Arthur's skills?
I will say, Main, this individual to Ange looks exactly like Adasor. He seems to probably the resemblance is there. He doesn't have the spines or the quills that Adasor does generally have, but it's definitely uncanny. You can tell they're at least related, if not one of the children of Adasor direct line.
Yeah, Angel's gonna pinch Arthur even harder. What are you working for? And kind of points to Leto towards him, and is like also preparing their swords, kind of ready in case of anything happens to kind of get in front of everyone.
Okay.
They're like on guard. They're highly on guard.
Yeah.
You can see that they're almost seconds away of starting a fight.
Yeah.
The moment the others are gonna try at least to do anything like out of place, we are gonna head for a fight.
Okay.
Arthur,
Put yourself on the map,
Arthur,
please. Thank you.
Arthur
We'll
kind of
use
like
this area.
reassures Ange and says, Ange, with as much honor as I can give, I can tell you this guy won't start a fight. In fact, he has a similar goal than that we have. And
now,
that is,
Ange throws a long look at Little Order from head to toe and is like, "You sure you trust him? Look at his face."
he's the leader of this. He's the leader of this. Well, face or no face, he's the leader of the settlement we need to land. My good friend.
Ange rolls their eyes and is like, "Another one?" And is that leader of yours, says with a mocking voice, any better than the previous? And how exactly?
Because he's the leader of the Alliance, my friend. You know, the people that nearly killed Azor.
Nearly. There's still a lot of, let's just say, weird stuff going on with that. You sure you trust him? How do you know that he won't be the second Atasaur?
Because he's associated with one of my friends. Right, Kyria?
You trust your friends that much, sometimes even friends and wise people can be blinded. And
And cheers.
also, Ange is not trying to be subtle about it. Like, I told him if he will try to listen closely, he will hear. Like, it's not keeping quiet about it.
Ronnie will kind of laugh and kind of turn over to Arthur and Ange's conversation. Ange, I get where you're coming from 100%, but the best philosophy to have is not to trust anybody unless they give you a reason to trust them. Trust is earned, it isn't given. And
Yeah.
at the moment, man's not giving me any reason not to trust him. Do I trust him? No, but I don't distrust him either. Same
His
way as
face
me.
is giving enough. His face gives me enough reasons.
Well, just keep one eye open. But don't go in guns blazing unless you have to. At least that's the philosophy I was taught. If you can parlay, parlay. If you can't, then deal with it when you can't.
In either case, as he as he stands towards, what's his name? Geyer?
Who?
What's his face again? Geyer?
The guy that is here?
Yes.
Lito Udom.
I can believe it.
Or Lito.
Lito Udom. Lito. Either way, as he kind of like
He's awesome.
faces Nidum. Well, you asked for us, so
Lito, he does not care. He's heard it all. But
At this point, Bjorn has gotten kind of bored of the bantering between everybody.
here's the thing: is like there's not a lot of bantering. It's like these two are whispering behind like the crowd of you, I assume.
And Bjorn's going to kind of look at Ange.
Kind of whispering, but not keeping quiet about it. Like, sometimes a whispers like, are you really whispering, or you're similar, more like arguing type of thing.
Yeah,
I'm imagining more of like a huddle.
Yeah, quick
and
huddle.
kind of takes a seat on the edge of like that little desk, like the corner. And as he hears everybody kind of talking about, oh, we don't.
Let's say we're in a
on.
we're here. We wouldn't be in that small space. We'd be
Okay.
in the captain's quarters, which is effectively way bigger than that, and emulates this more like it. But this is a battle map that we're just using, so this is not it.
Bjorn is definitely, because he always has his axe. He's got the blade pommel down on the ground, and hearing everybody kind of, to him, sounds like bickering. He kind of lowers his head and looks at the ground, and he smashes the pommel of his axe against the ground and looks at Ange and Arthur and goes, I don't care who he is. If he's willing to fight an enemy of my enemy, then my axe will fall next to his blade. If you do not agree with it, we can hash it out now. But other than that, we'll listen to what he has to say.
agreed. He says as he takes a seat.
Well said, Bjorn. I'm with you. I roll however it rolls. And honestly, the head of the Alliance that has a pretty hefty reputation, and he doesn't mind folk like myself, and he kind of gestures at the skull and crossbones. Can't be all that bad. Probably a bit of fun.
Bjorn looks at Ronny and goes, you got any loose tobacco?
No, my friend, just a packet of smokes. But you're welcome to my matches. And from what I gather, I haven't had a single one of these for a while, because the last time I tried to light one up, it blew up in my face. So I'm waiting to smoke these until we're in orbit and we kiss this planet goodbye.
We're at the surface, Ronnie.
You're well within confined space, and it does not seem hazy.
Okay. In that
So
case,
can Bjorn actually light his pipe?
You could.
Hell yeah, he can take a match from Ronny and light his fucking pipe.
oh yeah, Ronnie says, "Smoke him if you got him."
Where's
And
Ange?
he pops a cigarette in.
Arthur also starts getting the flame ready. He's like, I'll light the
I
fire.
believe Angel's villa is between Arthur and those two. The Tordom and the other one.
Oh, pick a seat. Those are the seats available. Which one are you sitting on? Or who did you move out of the way? Because
Move over
Kresh is gonna
the
sit somewhere, and I need to know where. He's gonna pretend he's a big boy.
Probably didn't know.
Yeah, no, he's gonna sit right next to you probably, but he's gonna say, yeah, and whatever you got, we want double because we heard you're rich, right? He's kind of asking the group really.
Bjorn's just gonna give him a look of like, shut up.
What they might be. Litordum does chime in eventually, saying, "I'm here to help. Really, I was informed that you are all captains of this ship, which does make sense regarding the vessel that you're on. There is a bounty for this ship. If you wanted to claim it, it's up to you. But I believe the effort in which we are most looking forward to is the clearing of the magical monstrosities that exist in this planet. Once we slay the, well, I think the best terminology we've come up with is the typhoon. There's also hurricane. We've called it hurricane. It does change size. This monstrosity, this Fiero shard that exists and corrupts this realm. But the problem and most people trying to slay and claim the bounty to free the underworld, they're unaware of the exact price it takes. You need trident pieces, all three of them, assuming that one of them haven't been split. And once we find the beacon, we should be able to locate all the other ones or have the creature come to us. The question is whether you'll be willing to part with the ship so I could complete this mission, or if you're going to aid us. This is
What's
a
the
piece of the
bounty on the
trident.
ship?
He says, before you could say all that, he does. This is a piece of the trident right here. He's holding up this black lance. Well, not lance, it's a spear. It's sort of tall. Lunara, you've seen it before. This was the item that was gifted to this individual by Ayala herself, actually. They, again, you've had dinners with this guy, and he rolled a nat one on recognizing you, but he does seem to be the same age. Like the when he left, he hasn't changed at all. Nothing's happened. Maybe he has a new scar, but he does say, "This is the shard of the trident. Collect them all, and we could destroy the beast Fiero."
Is there no other weapons that can take him?
Yes, we will require all the weapons possible. In fact, we would like to exploit the accessibility of the Project 23's weapons, if possible, to defeat this entity. But without the shards piercing on them, without, I think, she told me 10 keys to kill them all. So we need 10 keys of the wands. I have one of them. Unfortunately, I had to take one out to escape the perennial stratum, or underworld for some of you. He's sort of looking, trying to gauge to see what's the collection between you guys being from the underworld or overworld. Many do not have it in their head to call things perennial stratum because what is that? Oh, the underworld. People have to correct themselves often. Yet, this is what he said.
So I guess we're on the hunt for the rest of the trident pieces.
Bjorn
Bigger
kind of
question
looks at
is
the group and
do we
goes,
give him?
"Go ahead, Ronny."
Well, Ronnie kind of thinks out loud. The bigger question is do we give him the ship like he's suggesting, or do we use the ship and go hunting with them? Because at the moment, I think we kind of need this ship.
Yeah, we're pretty much gonna need the ship in order to,
Get off the
Ah.
world,
Bjorn-
unless they have another ship to trade.
Bjorn definitely looks at the group and says, "Either way, if you look at it, we give him the ship. He kills Fiedo. We're fucked. We go with him, help him kill Fiedo, and he could still fuck us."
Arthur kind of like looks at Bjorn and Ronnie and kind of shakes his head in disappointment. You guys and your lack of faith in your leaders.
But the difference is,
They wouldn't be the
Axe.
first ones.
we'll draw blood from Fiedo. And Bjorn stands up and walks over to the guy and stands next to him and says, "I'll fight with you."
I was secretly hoping for no fight to occur. I know that the Fey gods have a bit of a penchant for deals, but that could lead to misdirection, and I would prefer dealing with Fierro instead of destroying them. I know the implications are heavy, but again, that is not my price to pay, but someone has to. So says Ayala.
So what you're suggesting is gathering up these trident pieces and more or less waving it in his face like a gun. Like, hey, we got the thing that can kill you. Either cooperate with us or die.
You catch what I pick up?
It's a bargaining chip. And a threat.
Yes.
A very big bargaining chip and threat. Arthur adds.
Mate, oh, you can't put yourself on the map. I'm so sorry. So you're. I'll just put you down somewhere. Okay. That just changes things for me. Yeah, let me just put Nodin down. Hold on.
You mean Ang?
No, yeah, I know. I almost grabbed the wrong one. Is what I'm saying. Either way, assuming we would switch, just because. Fresh would sort of look at this guy, and then they're gonna say, "Yeah, so how much though for the big one, the big boat?" And then they told them. He responds, "The bounty. Are you?" I could tell you the number, but it may force you to dwell on it longer. I'm not sure if you would appreciate that, but I'll tell it to you if you wish. He sort of looks at everyone else, sort of acknowledging Fresh enough. There is a hint of maybe prejudice or disrespect towards the magical creature.
Don't worry, he's not one of the captains. Arthur adds.
Oh, okay. He almost blurted out. Good. His charisma is low.
Well, this is just my
You said this guy's
speculation.
name is what?
Let's try it again one more
Go
time.
ahead, Bjorn.
Bjorn.
Go ahead, Ronnie.
You sure?
Yeah, go ahead, bud.
Ronnie will kind of speak up. This is just my speculation, but I think it was a war vessel, and one that Adasort personally had built. I can imagine it's worth quite a bit to you, especially since you're requesting it and there was a bounty for it.
You have no idea.
I guess-
It is a huge sum of wealth, I will say.
A huge sum. Enough that we could get a ship of greater or equal value.
You will get a ship. Unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to provide liquid currency fully for this thing. But amongst offerings is a place to call your home or homes, depending if you wanted to cut that in pieces and pick different locations for however many there are of you, or a castle hold yourselves in a very secular location if you wish. Regardless, it would still provide you transport to travel the realms, one that has speed enough to get you to places back and forth in adequate time, and honestly enough of that coinage to get you around to whatever your needs. You would be made effectively if you were to turn in the Project 23. Sorry, Savior?
I've been calling it the Savior, yeah.
Okay, I was informed.
Well, it's definitely an enticing offer. I mean, I can't speak for anybody who would want to stay on this planet, but, you know, a personal ship that I could use to get off-world once my job's done here, you know, would be great. Unless we decide to keep the Savior. But,
My vote is keep the Savior, and Arthur just blurted out. It's a war vessel.
Arthur kinda lets ironic chuckle and is like, well, I kinda grew up liking, kinda grew up a soft spot for this one. Although it looks horrible. I want to repaint this.
Bjorn, what do you think?
Bjorn kind of looks at everybody, sees that they're kind of leaning toward the whole getting rid of the ship besides Arthur. And he's going to kind of look at everybody and go, do you not remember? We hired this crew. We did the hard work in to get it up and running.
No, actually,
danger-
she agrees with King.
And we just want to hand it for a mere castle and a handful of coin. Because he says it is valued worth more than what he could offer. I say we help him. We take the ship. And he looks at the guy and goes, kill Ghetto. We claim that bounty.
Alright, sounds good to me.
Oh, you want the big bounty? I'm all for it. He smacks down the spear. And again, I don't want to miss out on, if anything, Lunara, who has spent much time breaching the inner parts of Project 23, breaking out Aphotrix searching and finding Azayela, having located the captain, the original one, and replaced the parts within it. Do you have something that you might want to say to this guy? As everyone's saying, nah, we're keeping the ship.
Yep.
I mean, we still need it, so we get this whole thing done. So I guess keep it.
Yeah. Understandable. You've been here a lot of time. You have friends that live here. So. But that's what we're looking at. Or are we just going to hold on to it as a collective and take out Fierro?
Well, I think that's definitely the first steps. I think that we definitely want to keep the Savior. We'll kill Fierro and the Savior, or if we can get him to stand down and do what we want and have him thoroughly spanked without having to kill him, then that's great too. Mission accomplished at the end of the day either way.
True.
So I think for now, at least for now, we're keeping the ship. We'll fight and do whatever we have to. We'll find shards if that's what we need to do. You can have your guys looking for shards, and we'll get this thing kickstarted.
We will be in the back foot. Using an air vessel to take out this creature, we are going to be exposed. We should,
Well, I mean, we have guns on this thing.
guns. I saw no weaponry as I approached.
Well, we have some exterior guns, but
It doesn't look like it, but the guns are there.
We still
there.
have to solve the issue with that corner. If you remember, the one that wasn't fully protected, and we decided to stop on when we reach the outside. So we can repair that.
So you have weapons.
few, a good few. We could always use more, but we have some.
And at this point, Lito Urdam, he's like trying to put pieces together in his head, but instead Siri sort of just chimes in at this and quickly asks, the guns, are they well hidden? Could they operate as they're still hidden? They have long range. What's their capacity?
Ronnie would explain that, we have guns, and when Fitrix got them online, I believe it was only for, the bottom portion of the ship?
Yes. No.
Yeah, it was
the
the
gun,
bottom...
No, the guns are online in many areas of the ship. There's just a bit of blind spots. Several locations. Several accesses.
And the other thing is that we know that some of the weapon systems are incomplete because this thing was looted years prior. So we have some of the basic guns and cannons up and running, but we don't have anti-particle cannons or magic weapons or anything like that. We just have basic, laser cannons. So Ronnie will make that expressly known too, that, we don't have anything that's gonna, zap this thing in one shot, but we've got something that could at least keep it at bay for a while. Probably piss it off more than anything.
Okay.